The Golden Week is a collection of 4 national holidays within 7 days. In combination with well-placed weekends, the Golden Week becomes one of Japan's 3 busiest holiday seasons, besides New Year and the Obon Week. Trains, airports and sightseeing spots get very crowded during Golden Week, and accommodation in tourist areas can get booked out well in advance. The national holidays making up the Golden Week are April 29, Showa Day, Showa no Hai. April 29 is the birthday of former Emperor Showa, who died in the year 1989. Until 2006, Greenery Day, see May 4, used to be celebrated on this day. May 3, Constitution Day, Kenpo Kinenbi. On this day in 1947, the new post-war constitution was put into effect. May 4, Greenery Day, Midori no Hai. Until 2006, Greenery Day used to be celebrated on April 29, the birthday of former Emperor Showa. The day is dedicated to the environment, because the emperor loved plants and nature. Before being declared Greenery Day, May 4 used to be a national holiday due to a law, which declares a day that falls between 2 national holidays, a national holiday. May 5, Children's Day, Kodomo no Hai. The boys' festival, Tango no Seku, is celebrated on this day. Families pray for the health and future success of their sons by hanging up carp streamers and displaying samurai dolls, symbolizing strength, power and success in life. The Girls' Festival is celebrated on March 3. Golden Week 2023. In 2023, the weekends are placed favorably to create a consecutive 5-day holiday. Travel activity is anticipated to peak on May 3 with people leaving the large urban centers, especially Tokyo, and on May 6 and 7 in the opposite direction. Golden Week 2024. In 2024, the weekends are placed in a way to create a 3-day and a 4-day holiday period. Travel activity is anticipated to peak on May 3 with people leaving the large urban centers, especially Tokyo, and on May 5 and 6 na in the opposite direction. Silver Week. Usually every 5 to 6 years, a favorable accumulation of national holidays, respect for the Aged Day, autumn equinox and a possible in-between holiday, and a weekend creates a longer holiday period similar to Golden Week around late September. The holiday has popularly become known as Silver Week. The next notable Silver Weeks will be in 2026 and 2037 when 5-day-long holidays will be observed. Golden Week Travel Tips. Transportation and attractions can be difficult to access during Golden Week due to the sheer number of people traveling at that time. Consider the following tips to make your Golden Week vacation a bit more pleasant. Isa. Make all reservations early. Many travelers make their Golden Week plans 3 to 6 months in advance. This includes reserved train seating, airline tickets, hotels, and tours. You can activate your Japan Rail Pass up to 30 days in advance of when you plan to use it. With an activated pass, you can make seat reservations early. When using non-reserved seating, large groups may find it difficult to get seating together on the trains. Junior Ticket Office. Make sure to reserve your train seat at least 2 days in advance to avoid problems. 2. Allow extra time for travel. During Golden Week, more than the average number of people are traveling. Therefore, you may encounter long lines or delays when using your Japan Rail Pass. Be sure to allow extra time to accommodate any delays. Be patient when interacting with Japan Rail employees and other passengers. 3. Enjoy what's local. One sure way to beat the crowds is to avoid using the highways, public transportation, and tourist attractions. Instead, plan to pursue activities within walking distance of your accommodations. Take a walk and enjoy roadside gardens. Discover restaurants known only to the locals. Don't stress, but consider it an adventure. Things to do on Golden Week. Outdoor festivals. During Golden Week, various festivals are celebrated in nearly every city in Japan. These may include events for viewing wisteria or azalea flowers, historical parades, or cultural celebrations. Visit Tokyo. While Tokyo is known for being a densely populated metropolis, you may find that many of its residents vacation elsewhere during Golden Week. This means shorter waits and fewer crowds at Tokyo's restaurants, parks, museums, and other attractions. There is even a Hawaiian festival that takes place in Tokyo during Golden Week and also the Spring Grand Festival at Meiji Shrine. Flower Garden in Hokkaido, a wonderful area to visit during Golden Week. Enjoy the outdoors. The weather is typically mild during Golden Week with comfortable outdoor temperatures. Golden Week is thus the perfect time for outdoor activities in Japan. Keep in mind, though, that flower parks may be crowded with visitors anxious to see the azaleas, wisteria, and tulips. It's nothing new that Japan is a country with very short holidays for workers. The common practice in most companies is to have 10 days per year, and it usually increases 1 day per year work. Once you have been in the company for 2 years, you have 11 days. When you have been 3 years, 12 days and so on up to a maximum of 20. Compared to, for example, European countries, which usually offer 1 month per year work since the first year you join the company, these holidays are considered too scarce. In addition, in some companies, either out of embarrassment or social pressure, workers usually don't take more than 3 days in a row on vacation, because during the time they are not working their colleagues have to do your part of the job. To try to compensate in some way for this lack of vacations, Japan is the country with more national holidays per year, and recently the Shinzo Abe government is trying to boost what it has called Happy Mondays, passing some national holidays to Monday so that the people can have a long weekend. But if there is a date that most Japanese and people who work in Japan look forward to every year is the Golden Week. The Golden Week, Gorunuiko, is a concentration of 4 national holidays in 7 days between the end of April and the beginning of May that give rise to the longest holiday period in Japan. In addition to the 4 national holidays, Saturday and Sunday are added, and 1 or 2 extra days that many companies grant to their workers. For example, if the first holiday falls on Thursday, some companies also closes Friday and links with the weekend and the remaining 3 national holidays. It is said that the name comes from the radio lingo, Golden Time, which was a specific time with the highest audience. During this week, there were 9 na official holidays as declared in 1948. Showa Day or Showa no Hai is the first holiday that gives rise to the Golden Week. Hirohito, the emperor of the Showa era, was born on April 29, 1901. In 1948, during his reign, Hirohito promulgated that his birthday will be a national holiday. But Hirohito is a controversial emperor, since it was who reigned during the Second World War and supported the Japanese army, so after his death in 1989 the Showa Day was abolished. But in 2007 this holiday was reintroduced, although according with the government, with a different meaning. It's not a day to celebrate Emperor Hirohito's birthday but a day to think over the turbulent years of Hirohito's reign. More specifically, about the Second World War and the role of Japan in it. This day is about remember the mistakes that shouldn't be committed again and the hardships that Japan were passed later, but also to remember the Japanese economic miracle that came later thanks to everyone's effort and how the Japanese raised the country again together. The goal is to motivate the new generations to create a prosperous and new future between all. Constitution Memorial Day, May 3th, Japan Constitution Day. The Constitution Day or Kenpo Kinenbi, Sianpaji ni Anri, commemorates the promulgation of the 1947 Constitution, the current Constitution of Japan, and it's a day to reflect on the democracy and government of Japan. After the surrender of Japan in the World War II, the Japanese government and USA General Douglas MacArthur cooperated in the drafting of the new constitution. This new constitution takes 2 years but finally was ratified on the same day as Emperor Meiji's birthday, November 3, 1946, and entered into force on May 3, 1947. In 2020, as Day 3rd is Sunday, the holiday has been changed to 6th. This day is the only day that the Diet Building, the Kokai Gihid, Bowei Shitan, opens its doors to the public. The Diet is the assembly or maximum power organ of Japan, so if you're in Tokyo on the Constitution Day, I recommend you visit the Diet Building since it's a unique opportunity. Greenery Day, May 4th. Greenery Day. Greenery Day or Midori no Hai in Japanese is a day dedicated to nature, reason why sometimes it is also known as Nature Day. On this day, government encourage people to enjoy and contemplate nature, visiting parks, gardens and green spaces. I just said before that with the death of Emperor Hirohito in 1989, April 29 ceased to be Emperor Showa's Day. But that's not 100% true. The Japanese government decided to keep that day as a national holiday and changed the name to Greenery Day. But this name was chosen because Emperor Hirohito liked plants and nature very much, and some people say it was a way to keep dedicating a public holiday day to Emperor Hirohito without saying it, because at that moment a big part of Japanese society didn't really accept or like the figure of the emperor, because of its influence on the World War II. When in 2007 the Showa Day, it started celebrating again on April 29. They passed the Greenery Day on May 4th. Children's Day, May 5th. Children's Day. The Children's Day or Kodomo no Hai has its origin in the Tamu no Seko, or Boys' Day. As the name implies, it was a day dedicated only to male children. 2 months before, on March 3rd, the daughters had their day in the Girls' Day or Hinamatsuri. But when in 1948 became a national holiday, the name was changed to Children's Day to include both male and female children. However, despite the official name is Children's Day, Kodomo, it's used for children of both genders. Some Japanese still consider this day as a celebrate for boys since the girls have the Hinamatsuri. During the days before Children's Day, all of Japan is filled with koinobori. Perhaps by this name you don't know what we are talking about, but we are sure that you have seen them on more than one occasion. They are a kind of tent-shaped cloth flags. It's one of the most typical images of Japan abroad. The tents represent the father, mother and children. Depending on the number of children in the family, more or less tents are placed, 1 tent per child. If you're traveling with kids, some places such zoos, museums, parks, etc. have free admission or discounted fees for this day. So make sure to check the prices in advance. One of the 3 busiest holiday seasons in Japan. It's not surprising, then, that with more than half of the country having vacations during the same week, domestic tourism rises enormously and everything becomes massively crowded. Trains, roads or airports get very crowded during this week, and the same goes for hotels and sightseeing spots. The Golden Week is considered, among with the Obon in August and the New Year in December, January, one of Japan's 3 busiest holiday seasons. Although in my opinion, the Golden Week is actually the busiest one. It's true that during the New Year trains and transports are filled with people, but they're usually people who return to their hometowns to see their families, not for tourism. And the Obon also has many people returning to their parents' house. But the Golden Week is the most used to enjoy a vacation and go visit some places. Not only within Japan, but also abroad. It's one of the busiest seasons for Japanese travel agencies. Tips for traveling to Japan in the Golden Week. The best recommendation is not to travel to Japan during the Golden Week, as prices will be much higher and everything will be crowded. But if, for any reason, it's the only date on which you can travel to Japan, in that case I would recommend that you book everything in advance. Some Japanese make their reservations even 1 year in advance. I also recommend not moving from one city to another by bus, even if it's cheaper. Trains and flights can be full and need to be booked in advance, but they're usually always punctual on their departure and arrival times as they have nothing in their way that is an obstacle. But when it comes to buses it's different, since many people decide to travel by car and the roads get stuck, leading to huge and long traffic jams for hours and hours. A journey of 4 or 5 hours can end up becoming a 10 or 11 hour trip easily. Things to do in Golden Week in Japan. Although popular tourist destinations tend to be crowded during Golden Week in Japan, there are lots of attractions that you can enjoy only in the season. From beautiful seasonal flowers to traditional koinobori festivals, the country offers various chances to have unique experiences. Plan your perfect Golden Week trip with this bucket list.